Okay, take two for Transformation Tuesday. Let me get Tara on and invite her. I don't understand why lately I've had some issues getting people on, and it's very frustrating, right? But like with technology, you just got to be patient because the more you freak out, then it's just not going to work. So here we go. Let me tag her, and I did invite her, but okay, perfect. I'm going to add you. Okay. Hello, if you're just coming on. Hi, hello. So I said I'm adding you. Yes. Okay.
Yes, it
Talk.
worked.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. Last week, literally, like, I had to redo it, and then we actually went on a separate night because it echoed, and it was the most
Oh,
amazing interview. So I didn't want that to happen tonight. So thank you for coming on. Before I introduce you, I just got this today, and I'm so excited about it. Look at this. Okay. Jade Aguero
oh
went to
my
high school and
gosh.
made this. Is this not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
That's
So
awesome.
everybody just go look at my Instagram and follow me, first of all. But this is my brand colors. This is my logo. And then this is my book. Shh, that's the title of my book.
Oh
I
my
need
gosh.
I am free 11-step guide to personal freedom. But okay, it's beautiful. So Jade, what is it? It's Jade. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I literally can't read. Made by Jade. Jade Made Customs. Okay. Anyway, Tara Ackaway, I'm so excited to have you here and to put you in the spotlight because you're never put in the spotlight. You're always behind the scenes, right? So I'm just going to give a
Yeah.
little background onto how we met. And I kind of let me just double check. Okay, I was a media specialist in Toms River, New Jersey at Walnut Street Elementary School. You were
Yes.
in college, correct?
No, I was in high school.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
I
Really?
was a senior. Yeah, because it was my cap. My like co-op.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I'm oh
Yeah.
okay. Okay. All right. So CAP, if you don't know what it is, Community Action Program, I actually did it too.
Yeah.
So as a high school senior, you can go in and volunteer, and she happened to work with me. Then it must have been my first year there. It had to be.
You were brand new there. No, yeah, because you had just left teaching to become a media specialist.
Right. So it was
Yeah.
2010. You graduated high school in 2010?
2011.
Oh, 2011. Oh my gosh. Okay. I forgot because time flies and like
It
I
really
had some
does.
helpers.
Yeah.
But anyway, I always knew like you were really gonna, I don't know, you were just amazing, right? Because I get people and, they have to be told what to do. They don't really, they're
Yeah.
lazy. Okay. They don't just like take the initiative like you did. And we stayed in touch. So you went to
Yeah.
Monmouth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I don't even know. We kept in touch for however I don't remember how, but I remember you graduating college. And then at that
Yeah.
time, so you graduated what year?
Well, I finished in 2014, but I
Okay.
had like the winter commencement in 2015.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So we reconnected because at that point I was full on doing network marketing. And then I
Hmm.
found out you were like doing PR, and I was hosting my own meetup at that point. And I was like, oh, you
Yes.
should come. So I had like a breakfast. What was it called? It was called like
Oh, it was so
shut up
good.
and shut up and
Network or something like that.
I
It
don't even
was,
remember. That's
yeah.
horrible.
But it was
But
at Shut Up and Eat, which is in Times River.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is an amazing place. And all of those
Yeah.
people that we met there, right, those would actually go on to be some of your first clients in your business,
Yeah, it's true. It's crazy. And
right?
I'm still with them. Like, that's what's so crazy. Yeah.
So, all right, tell me a little bit about so what you went to school for, what you graduated with, and kind of what led you into like at that point, and then we'll go through like where you are now.
Yeah, yeah. So, I thought my whole life I want to be a lawyer. And then
Hmm.
I ended up taking, like, as electives, like a few communication classes, and I loved it, specifically PR. And then with digital stuff, I mean, I've always grown up with social media, so it was just so natural for me to love to play around with the graphics and the design and the outreach and all that fun stuff. But really what got me into, you know, like the entrepreneur business mindset was that it was my junior year going into my senior year, the summer. I had an internship with Bravo Television, and I got paired up with one of the housewives of the New York Housewives franchise. And I ended up at first being just an intern, and then becoming a personal assistant, and then becoming an executive personal assistant. And that opportunity was so neat because I was meeting everybody. I was networking my butt off. It was the summer, so I didn't have classes at the time. And so I would go to all of the crazy, you know, like glamorous parties and the red carpets. But during the day, I was doing the dirty work. Like I was doing all the not so glamorous things. The girls were filming season 6, so I saw what it was like to be actually on the show, which I was, behind the scenes. Like I saw everything. And then at the time, who I was working with was dating a very, very wealthy French businessman who owned a multi-million-dollar company on the Upper West Side. And they had just fired their PR person for like creative differences or something. And the whole company was French speaking, and they didn't understand American culture. And they were like, how are we going to get someone in here to understand American culture? So my boss at the time was like, you've got to talk to her. She's great. She does all my social media. She does all the outreach, because I was really running stuff. Like, even though I started at like kind of this entry level position, I've always been that kind of person, like, let me get hands-on experience, let me learn. And like, lo and behold, it ends up turning into a second internship turned job. And then through that experience, I started working on all these different campaigns. He was like, you know, here's a notebook, fill it up with ideas. I filled it up front to back. And so many of those concepts ended up becoming PR campaigns that I implemented, working with crazy folks like Howard Stern and the Humane Society and like all these awesome people. And then he owned stock in another company, a social media marketing company, and I ended up working there. So it in all turned into 3 different jobs, and I was basically living in the city for that entire summer. Then fast forward a little bit, you know, school was starting up, and I continued it obviously as much as I could, but I'm in my senior year now. And by the time I got to, you know, graduating like final semester, you know, it slaps you in the face. You know, college goes so quick. You're not really expecting it to happen that quickly. And so, you know, natural progression, I'm going on job interviews, and I'm getting offered positions, and they're decent jobs. Like, they're good jobs. Like, listen, it's hard to get a job. It's hard to get into the media world. And I'm kind of weighing my options. And at the same time, I'm getting a lot of like emails and phone calls for freelance requests from people that I met during what I call this New York City excursion. And I was like, I'm just gonna run with it and see what happens. And that's how the business started, because I was comparing what I was being offered as a job to what my freelance, you know, payments would be monthly. And I'm like, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to have creative freedom, control, fun. I can run things my way, and just see how it went. And that's how it went. Like, I went from like 3 monthly paying clients to 6 to 9, like in that progression. And they you know, a lot of things are like short term. So people would think, okay, you know, people are going to sign on for 3 months or whatever. They didn't. They stayed. I still have people from like 5 years ago that are still my clients to date, because of the different services I was offering them. And then my company just grew and grew and grew. And I mean, I've been talking a lot, but that's the gist of the story of what had happened. And people always ask me, you know, was it a plan? Was it something that you thought was, you know, you were just, this was your brainchild, you got in with these people and then you collected their cards? Like, no, it wasn't that at all. People just naturally like loved my energy, and they loved my ideas, and you know, we just made it happen.
I mean, I can tell you it happened because you're a hustler, and you're so good at what you do, and
I
like,
love it.
and
That's
in a way
why.
that you're absolutely like full
Yeah.
stop, like you are where you are because you're ultra talented, you're passionate about what you do, and you get the job done. People don't need to, in a way, like you really have such a creative mind, and anyone would be lucky to work with you. Like we've talked. So at that time, I didn't even know all of that. That's freaking amazing.
That's crazy.
Like
Well,
it
you know what it
really
is?
is.
I never talk about it. Like I never, up until about a month ago, month and a half, like when my Forbes article came out, I never publicly like really shared that story ever, just because it's not me. Like I'm not that, I love social media for business, but I'm not that person that, you know, like every Friday night I go out with a client, we go to a fancy party and I meet a celebrity. Like I don't post it on social media. It's not me. I don't care. It's just my job. It's what I do. I don't like social media for that reason. So I use it in a different way. So I never talk about myself. You know what I mean? It's just, so it's funny you say that, because a lot of my friends even will be like, you did what? Like, I was right there. What do you mean? Like, they don't know. But now it's out there.
Like, it's because you're also, you don't seek the recognition. Your work gives you the reward, where a lot of people do seek it. And so that's why they're outward about it. You know, and it's probably also probably what led to your success, because your work and your work ethic, your skills speak for themselves. You know, which has got you know, you're. So I'll tell you how I know. You're welcome. So during that, you know, those meetings, so we would get together like once a week, or once a month for breakfast, and then I think it ended up being lunch. But anyway, we met Ray Offender, I think, something.
Yes.
Okay. So
how is Ray? I haven't seen him in years. Oh my gosh.
I should reach
But
out
she's
to him.
like, he's like on this.
Hi, Ray. We should actually use his services as a financial planner now that you're so successful, right? So so he's a financial planner, and at the time, so it's funny because I was in network marketing with a health and wellness company, which I still am, but I'm not actively promoting it. Like, love the products, but like, so at that time, what I was doing was I wanted to assist people. So Redesign Your Life was born. And so it was like, I partnered with him, and then his company was actually who hired you. So I just I tagged along, which was awesome because I got your services. So we were like, all right, let's host an event once a month. We'll get a special guest speaker. We'll do a theme for each month. I'll do a speech. He'll do a speech. And you did the social media. You did the event planning, which was like, I should post the pictures in the comments later. Just so your attention to detail and all the little nuances of all of it was just like, oh my gosh, like no one does that. Like people that host events, I mean, think about it now, okay?
No, I know.
Like they don't do that, nor they
not at all.
Food, not at all.
No, no one does that.
No, it was amazing. Like, and I mean, we had like four events, and then what kind of happened was I wasn't really in my purpose. Because it was like, now I get what my purpose is. It's empowerment, but at the time I wasn't an empowerment coach. So, and then I reconnected with you because last summer I was like, I want to write a book. Like, I just keep asking you like all the time, okay, I want to do this. I want to do this. And you're like, X, Y, Z. And you give me all these ideas, but it's like, people have to be ready for it. And it's taken me a little time to get there. But it's just like, it's amazing, and I'll tell you what I want you to share now is because you're a millennial, you're 25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the typical person, when they're in junior year of college, is not doing what you did. They're not.
No.
Like, so what are those skills and habits that you had at that age, which has led you into where you are now?
It's funny. They asked me this in Forbes too, and I don't know. It was so natural for me. Like, you know what the big thing was? Like, a lot of people, I think they think that, you know, like they look at the work as like a job, and these jobs have these reputations that are just horrible because a lot of people hate what they do, and they're like, wow, I can't believe like you were so miserable in your college years and you worked all these hours. And I was like, no, I was living like my best life ever. What do you mean? Like, I had the best college experience. I don't feel like I neglected anything. Of course, like with that comes a ton of sacrifice. Are you gonna miss things that you wish you didn't miss? Yeah, but it's all for that end result. It's all for that purpose. You know, you sacrifice your time now to live a life that most are never gonna live because of that end game. And that's what I did. I mean, I don't feel like I neglected anything. Like, is it a lot of time? Is it a lot of sacrifice? Yeah, it still is. I mean, I run a company and I have employees and it's a ton of work. But the payoff's immenseful because this is mine. I've grown it from the ground up. It's still growing. You just have to, the biggest thing is passion. You have to really be passionate about what it is you're doing. And it doesn't have to be the end game. It can just be you're passionate about this now and then you move on to something else. I don't know.
Well, I love that.
Just, you feel, it feels right and then you know to do it. You know, nobody forced me to. That's another thing they asked me. Like, did your parents make you do this? Or no. Like, I just wanted to. I don't know. I've always been big on trying to explore things that interest me, to see what I like and what I don't like. And going through that crazy experience that started out as an internship was awesome because I got to see the super, super, super high class, glamorous side of things, and then the real business mindset, and then the tech side of it, and then the TV side of it. And I got to explore things, and then I got to check off things that I never want to do. And, you know, like some experiences I had, I was like, wow. Like some people I met in business, I'd be like, wow, if I ever had a company and I ever had a staff, I would never speak to them that way. And that's something like I instill today. Like there are things that I won't tolerate, or I won't let other people talk to my employees that way. And they seem silly. Like I can't even think of an example, but it's just the way you speak to someone. And if someone was to speak to them that way, I would nip it in the butt right away. It's just not okay. But I learned that through experience. So I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, you've had, I didn't realize all the experience that you've actually had, which, I mean, you don't learn that in school. So while it did, so like, okay, so I left because I want to see how you got to right now. Because when I left Jersey, it was like January of 2017. So you were still like, you didn't have like, I don't think so. Did you?
So this is the part we're missing. When I was trying to make a decision if I was going to go work at one of the big PR firms in the city or even in North Jersey, or if I was going to go off and try to do something on my own, it was deciding if I was going to do, it started off as freelance work. So people weren't just coming out and hiring me. So it was freelance work. And then the freelance work is what turned into full-time work. It was like 3 freelance clients, 6, and then so on. And then they became real monthly clients. Before I had an office, before I had a staff, I started out doing the same thing. I would freelance people to help me with writing and editing and like some design elements and things like that. And then it became to be too much. I was signing too many people. And then, you know, the crazy thing is it was never just local. Like people were coming from everywhere because people would refer, my business is 100% referral. So people would be coming from all over the place. And then people would want to meet me because you want to meet your publicist. You want to meet this person that's growing your business and you're spending so much time with. So they'd want to come out and meet me. And it got to a point where it was like, all right, I can't just keep going to restaurants. Like I need a space. Like I need a space. I'm ready. I want the space. And then at the same time, kind of everything was falling into place. I went from, you know, I was like, I need an employee. That wasn't enough because then once you get one employee, now you can take on more work. So then you get a second employee. Then you definitely need a space because they need some place to go and be creative. And co-working was never even an option because my office, next time you're down, you're here in June, right? You have to come down.
Yeah, I want to see it. I will.
Because that's the biggest thing. Like, you want to create your space, like make it your own. I don't want to rent a place that it's just a plain office. In the city, actually in Soho, I use Regis, which is like a co-working space, because it's just the easiest. I'm not there all the time, but I'm usually there about once a week. So if I need to meet with a client, usually all my clients have office space, but if it's someone new and we want to meet on like a neutral ground, or if they're traveling far, we'll go to a co-working space. So that's not permanent. It's a completely different element. I totally prefer my office in New Jersey.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. So tell me, like, what are your services that you offer? Because you really, like, it's a wide, array of things that you do. I don't think people really understand what a publicist actually does.
Right.
You know?
So when I first started, because I come from the reality television background with all of the experience, that was my focus. So I was just working with all reality, everyone that was on TV, so many different shows. And then it got to a point where it wasn't fulfilling. I really wanted to work on projects that would give back and work within my community. And grow brands from the ground up, because it's a funny thing. Like, even though you take somebody that's super successful and, so well off and doing great, a lot of times they started that way, sometimes, not all the time. And it's not a climb, and I like the climb and I like the journey. So I wanted to keep one foot in that world, which I still have, but I wanted to explore other avenues because I was very curious. So that's what I did. So I started working with a bunch of different people. In that, it had always been PR and social media, but it ended up expanding. So for social media strategy, it's everything from, if somebody comes to me, and whether they're a personal brand, whether they're a celebrity, whether they just opened like a coffee shop down the block, we will do all of the social media branding, creating the content, scheduling the content, posting the content, graphic design in-house. Everything is done through us, concept to fruition. And in the beginning, like, people were amazed. People were like, wait, you're going to create the content, and you're going to post it, and you're going to design it, and you're going to schedule it, and you're going to manage it, and then you're going to interact with people. Because the biggest downfall for social media is that people just schedule their posts on like a Hootsuite or something, and then they just let it sit there, because we're moms and dads and entrepreneurs, and we're wearing all these hats, and we have full-time jobs sometimes still, and there's just no time. I mean, right? Like, that's the biggest problem. But
yes, I can attest to that.
but the issue is, especially now, the way that, like, social media has changed, you need to have that one-on-one interaction. It can't be all robotics. You need to have organic reach. You need to be using specific hashtags and reaching out to people in different states or industries or whatever it is, and having conversations with them. We provide that service. It's not me anymore, it's we, and I still have to get used to saying that, because it's insane. Like, it's because it's been such a quick kind of progression. So social media is one part of it. PR is, a lot of people think of PR, they think of old school PR. They think, oh, I'm just going to get, like a article in a magazine or a spot on the radio. It's so much more than that. It's telling your whole brand story. It's creating a media kit, which is a mock-up of everything you have to offer in this visually appealing deck, as they call it. It's reaching out to all types of press and connecting with bloggers and influencers. And I mean, media is ever changing and ever evolving, coming up with mission statements and SWOT analysis and all kinds of things for your business. Something else we do is talent management, and this stemmed from the reality world. So a lot of the girls, and even people, we work with successful, like, CEOs and people that own these different businesses. They're looking for speaking engagements, and they're trying to get their brand out there. So we schedule all of that stuff, and we do the negotiations for the contracts and making sure that our clients are getting paid, getting them in gifting suites or getting them on that stage, things like that.
I'm pretty sure I have to hire you. Once I'm going to be, and I've said this to you for a few years now, like, when my book is, when I publish it, really.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to come talk to you, because, like, everything that you just said, I require. And,
well,
like,
it's so, that's the thing. It's so funny because people, like sometimes this, I won't say the person, but this happened recently. Somebody came to us and they were like, we're really in need, it's a bigger company, we're really in need of a new social media campaign. And so we put a proposal together and we sent it out, and like, this is the idea. And then, you know, I'm asking them like their long-term plans and their goals, and they have any other products or launches down the line, and what does Q2, 3, and 4 look like. And they go, wait, so you can do, and then like we start talking about other things, and they're like, yeah, we use this other company, huge name, we use this other company, but they don't even offer half of that stuff. And it's like mind-blowing. Wow. Because they're paying enormous amounts of money to this huge company that has this fancy name that if I said, you guys would know. I don't want to get sued, but you know, like, and they're doing the job halfway. They're just not following it through. I recently had a director for a really well-known show on ABC come to me for one of his main cast members, and you know, we had this awesome conversation, and he said, really, what is the difference? He's like, I know there's something different about you, but I'm just trying to pinpoint what is the difference between you and like these big talent agencies and whatnot. And I was like, you know, one thing that really stands out is these people will call up and they'll get quotes, and these people won't sit and they won't meet with you, they won't brainstorm with you, there won't be any kind of relationship building, and more than likely the person that seals the deal with you is just going to disappear, and they're going to hand you off to someone else. Like, I have a small team. You will always know everybody on the team. No matter how big I get, I'm not going to have that many people that it's going to be that crazy. It's always going to be managed, and we actually care about the relationship. Typical PR firms, you're going to sign on for 2 to 3 months for a big PR push, and then you're out. My clients have been with me for years, because how is that sustainable? How are you monetizing for 2 months and then it's over? It's always about what's next, what's evolving, what's changing, what's new. That's the biggest thing. It's relationship building. And I'm huge on that. I really value the relationships that I have.
We talked, like, because I have some things going on that, you know, in a totally new realm I have no clue about, and you're just like, no, you don't do that. And you're like, no. That is not how it works. And really, like, it's amazing. It's like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I mean, because you were essentially like my student. Not, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
I mean, it's amazing what you've accomplished. Like, and like, you're 25. Like, it's just amazing. So tell me, how did the Forbes like happen? So I reached out to you not that long ago, and I was like, you know what? You know, I should have you on my, like, you know, I do this, you know, Transformation Tuesday interview, and you're like, funny you should ask, because I have this like big announcement. I've been like keeping it secret, like, and then you like announced it the next day, and I'm like, what? Like,
I know,
it's amazing.
I know. I'm working on.
Happen?
I'm working on a couple really cool projects in the city. And I was at a party, and I met somebody who writes for the magazine. And I, by no means, sorry, my battery's dying. By no means was I pitching myself, was I promoting myself. It was nothing like that. We were just talking. And, you know, she asked me my story. And I didn't give this long version that I'm giving you. I just gave a piece of it. And she was like, no, there's more. Like, there's something more to this story. And then I started telling her more, and she was like, no, we need to do a piece on you. And I was like, what? Like, because as a publicist, you're never like promoting yourself. That's not what it's about.
Yourself.
Right. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And she was like, yeah, and you got to share the story. And then, like, I mean, it's Forbes. They start doing all this fact checking, and they're making, like, they got to make sure it's legit. And she was like, no, you passed. Wow. And I was like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. So I know you linked the article. Yeah. So when did that happen? What's that time span? Like, she said that, like, a few months?
Yeah, it was probably like 3 to 4 month window before it actually releases. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what has happened since? Like, have you gotten a lot of like...
Yeah. Oh my
New
gosh.
clients?
So
I mean,
it's been quite insane because it's oh okay. So my business has always been referral based, 100%. I've never like promoted like this is crazy, but about a year ago I just launched like the social media channels. We didn't even have them because it was just me for a while. Like just like every other entrepreneur that comes to me and I say, I get it, I really get it, you can only do so much. I was always like, oh my God, how could I promote myself before I'm promoting my clients? And that's always how I've been. And that's why it didn't exist. And now it's here. But people are now, when they would reach out, they would say, oh, I was referred by blah, 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 or I heard about you through blah, blah. Now they're calling and they're like, well, I read your article and I saw your website. And I'm like, this is like another world. I'm like, I want more articles. Now I know how my clients feel. But it's like crazy. I had a guy call me from, what was it, Wisconsin or something. He has this really cool brand that's about to launch, and now we're working on a whole like launch party for him and whatnot. And I was like, it's just amazing how the world works. I have more clients out of New Jersey than in New Jersey because word is just like, it's traveling. It's really awesome.
it's like, I feel it's only the beginning because that was just like the little bit of recognition, like in a way that, you know, you never put yourself out there in that way. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you actually did your job for yourself?
Right. Right.
It would be like,
I know.
Whoa. Because it already is. Like, you've grown exponentially already. So it's just amazing what you've done.
I have two interns coming in this summer. Like, that's crazy to me. And when I put, like, I didn't even put anything out. I was going to say when I put the job posting out for, like, what with the newest employee that I hired, I started getting, like, college students saying, oh, well, I can't take on this position yet, but would you consider an intern? And then like so many people were reaching out that I ended up bringing in 2 of them because it was just so big. And I was like, wow.
Like, I want my son to work for you so he can learn from you.
I know, you said, I know.
I was like, hey, but I know it's like, you know, it's a lot taking on an intern. Like, I've had him working with me. And I don't know half of what you know. I know, you know, basic, but like it's time consuming. You know what I mean? Like you got to just like, or you have to have someone, okay, this is what we're doing. And then they just sit like next to you and model, you know what I mean? Until they learn it. But kids now and college kids more so, if they're studying that field, they just learn it so quickly, you know?
Right. That's what it is.
It is. So how can people, connect with you? So your Social Wise Communications, right? Is the name of your business?
So the name of the business is Social Wise Communications. All of our handles like on social media are Social Wise PR, and our website is socialwisepr.com. And just reach out. Like if anyone, I'm always big on this too. Like it's not a scam. I always say like if you have a question, like a genuine question, like even I've gotten people that have gotten proposals from my competitors, even though I don't have any, and they're like, does this seem right? Like you can ask me anything. I swear, no judgment. People send me things all the time.
Right.
I'll answer.
I appreciate it because I ask you stuff often, and I appreciate you taking the time to answer because I know that, you know, you have a lot of clients, so it's awesome. I appreciate.
It might take me a minute, but I'll answer.
Because you're not on your phone for yourself all the time, and I message via Facebook Messenger all the time.
I know. I'm like, Jamie, text me.
Text me, please. So thank you so much. I know that this is like, you're just going to continue doing amazing things, and
that's so
really,
sweet.
Like, you're going to help me. You're going to take my company to like,
of course.
And then we'll be on together, and I'm just going to be like, see, this was all part of the master plan.
Well, it's I know, we've stayed in touch. We never lost touch. Like, you even moved. We never lost touch. It was crazy. Because when I was on the phone with you, it was like a couple days ago or whatever it was so natural.
It
like,
was
we
weeks
just.
ago.
What? Was it?
I
Guys,
feel like it was. But
this
yes,
is my brain. Yeah.
it was natural. It was.
Was it weeks ago? Oh,
it's
God.
like you pick up right where you left off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And yeah, every time I come home, I'll be like, okay, I'm working on this. What do you think? And then you're like, X, Y, Z. And like all the stuff that you've said, I feel like now I'm like actually implementing it. So it's like I'm ready for it.
Good.
So it's awesome.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So thank you again. Get in touch with Tara Ackaway. And when I'm on this, I don't see any comments. Okay, so everybody that wrote comments, we'll go back and we'll answer them, and we'll connect that way. And I'll post
Sure.
the link to your website and whatnot in the bio. Okay, so thank you
Awesome.
again.
Thank
And,
you.
this is going to be going onto my YouTube, Jamie Cesara. So I'm like building my subscribers. To
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a newsletter, Jamie Zazara? A newsletter we can subscribe
Yeah, so
to?
that's in the works, okay? I have like 4 days left, okay? And school is over! So I
Yay!
woo, woo, woo. Yeah, all right. Awesome. Have a beautiful night, everyone. And if you're watching this on the replay, do a hashtag replay so then we can come back and answer your questions, okay?
Oh, yeah, good idea. Mm-hmm.
Good idea. Is that good? Is that good social media?
Yeah. Imagine if I was like, terrible idea. Nobody did it.
Oh, well.
I approve. I approve.
Okay, good.
It's
Good. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye, Tara.